Hello all, it's Vimbo again, and I'm back with another Wednesday word. This week I decided to do something a little bit different, and so as some of you may know, I have been working remote for about a year. Before that, I worked in education. I was a teacher and I was a school principal for 5 years. And then our family went through some transitions, our family being my husband and myself. We moved, and I was very privileged to gain a position that both is involved with work that I'm very passionate about, and I'm also able to do it remote. And so I just wanted to share a few tips I've learned from working remote. If I'm being 1,000,000% honest, it has been quite a transition for me. I am an extreme extrovert, and so a lot of my transition has been just finding different ways to still stay connected to people. And so that's been a process, but I would definitely say at this point, a year later, there are so many perks to working remote, and I'm just going to share with you some tips I have. If you are considering working remote or you do work remote and you're looking for ways to, spice up your life and your routine, stay tuned because I've got a few tips for you this week. My first tip when you're working remote, I would say, is to make sure you make your workspace as inviting as possible. As you can see in my office, I have added a lot of things that just bring me joy, different signs from my time when I was in the classroom. My desk is actually 2 desks. It's an L-shaped desk, and one of them is adjustable. As you can see, it's currently high up. I have lots of random things in my office. It also serves as a second closet. And plants. So that would be my number one tip, is making your office cozy, inviting. I do that through plants and pothos. And so, that is my laptop. That is my planner. And I really like to use it to just do all of the things I need to do. These are my pens and my office supplies. So they are also super helpful as well. I really enjoy doing that. And as you can see, if you watch my other videos, I keep my calligraphy and my hobby stuff close by so that if I get a little bit of downtime, I can continue to work on it. So just make sure your office is cozy. It reflects who you are. These side panels on my computer, you can actually stick, I'll show you, sticky notes on the side of them. Something else too, I would say, is make sure you have everything that you need. I have a shredder right there. This is part of making it cozy. Honestly, my office is a little bit dirty today, but I would just definitely say, make sure you are taking advantage of the fact that you work remote. I mean, yes, remote doesn't always mean that I'm in my office, but when I am, I like to make sure that I am actually comfortable and just in a good place. So I would just definitely say that, to make sure you have everything that you need. That's just a perk of it. My second tip for working remote, as you can see me in this video clip, is to have a standing desk. A standing desk is nothing more than a desk that you can adjust the height. And so that's what I do, is sometimes when I've been sitting all day, I make sure that I stand a little bit, and that's just really good for me and my mental health. And finally, I think one thing that definitely is a perk to working remote, as I mentioned, I'm a big extrovert. I love working with other people, around other people. And so I love to go out to coffee shops or different places. And if it's just a day where I'm doing work on the computer and I'm not necessarily making phone calls or having a ton of video meetings, I will go and meet up with a friend. And I don't do this nearly as often as I'd like to. I would love to get to a point where I'm doing this every other week, but definitely working with other people gives me that sense that I'm not alone, which can be very isolating when you work remote. So I really appreciate that. And also just being around other people, you get to bounce ideas off of them and kind of talk through things. So I really, really like working with other people when I'm able to. Now, I will add this, and I didn't mention it earlier, but remote doesn't mean that every day is at home in the office. It does mean that my job looks different from week to week. There are some seasons that I am traveling more for my work. I've found that there are some seasons like now where I'm home more, and that just kind of varies. And I think that just depends on the kind of remote job you have. But overall, I've had a really, I'd say, positive experience transferring to remote work now. And it's kind of interesting because as much as I loved being in a school setting, and that's what my expertise is, I have a master's in K-12 administration, and I really do love that kind of work. It is hard to think about having to wake up and, at a specific time every single day, because truly my week varies. Like today I was up at 7, tomorrow I'm going to have to be up at 6. The next day it's a different kind of day, and most of my work stuff is in the evening because I do coordinate with other people in different time zones. So just all that to keep in mind and say, I don't think any two remote jobs look the same, even within the same companies sometimes. And I just think it's cool that remote work is here to stay. Let me know if you guys would like to see more about my remote work and just more tips from working from home. But I think this video was kind of fun to do, a little bit different than what I normally do. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week.